So I'll say this problem here, you're basically calculating the z-score for 3 different projects, and I'll at least help you with the first one, allow you the honor and privilege of doing the other 2 on your own. So we're looking at a score of 144, where the class mean was 128 with a standard deviation of 34. So your z-score for that, using the equation that we've come to know and love, x minus x bar over standard deviation, your x in this case is 144. You're subtracting the average, which is 128, and you're going to divide that by 34. Okay, this is z sub 1, we can say. So that just means 144 minus 128 is equal to 16. So we've got 16 over 34. That gives you a z-score equal to 0.47. Okay, so when you're looking at each of these, on which one did he do the worst? Well, that would be the z-score that's the lowest. Now, if he's got a negative score, then that doesn't mean he's got negative value to it, other than the fact that it just means he's scored below average. So that's one thing you just kind of want to pay attention to, keep track of, think about. Okay. Moving on to this, a highly selective university is only admitting students who place at least 2 z-scores above the mean on the ACT. The most recent ACT, the mean score was 18 with a standard deviation of 6. Well, at least 2 z-scores. Well, that's 2 standard deviations. If one standard deviation is 6, so 2 of them is 12. And if you're saying, you can draw the picture or not, but, you look at something like this, there's your 18, 6 above is 24, another 6 above is going to be all the way up to 30. So if they're saying what's the minimum score the applicant must obtain to be admitted, if they're only admitting people that are 2 z-scores or above, you have to have a minimum of a 30 on the ACT to be able to be admitted to this school. Okay. More of the same here. You've got a mean and a standard deviation. Company wishes to test a sample of people who fall between 1.5 and 3 z-scores above the mean. Into what range must the candidate's cholesterol level be in order to candidate be included in the study? This is using the z-scores in somewhat of a different way. 3 z-scores above average is easy enough to find because you're saying 3 times 25. Well, that's 75. So the high end has got to be 275, because 3 z-scores above the mean is 25, 25, and 25. If we drew another picture, the middle would be 200, and you're taking 20 steps of 25 in that direction. A little trickier is just to be able to say that it's 1.5 and 3 z-scores above the mean. So when you're looking at this, and I'll try and be as clear as I can here, 1, 2, 3 z-scores. Okay, there's your 275. Well, here's 1 and here's 2. We got to find out what that value is right there. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking 1.5 of 25. Okay, so 1.5 times 25 gives me 37.5. So 37.5 milligrams, and I took the 25 and multiplied it by 1.5. 25 milligrams above 200 is what I'm looking at. So 237.5 is going to be, this is interval notation saying that the value has to be somewhere between this and this if we want to, if the company is going to be happy with what we're talking about here. 237.5 is this value right here. So if we're looking at a shaded region that's going somewhere between 1.5 and 3 standard deviations above average, it would have to fall between those 2 values.